A Charleston man was sentenced to life in prison plus another 15 years for the attempted shooting of a Missouri State Highway Patrol officer. Not the murder, attempted shooting. DeMarcus Owens, age 29, was formally sentenced by 34th Judicial Circuit Judge Edward Reeves on Tuesday. On a charge of first-degree assault, Owens was sentenced to life in the custody of the Department of Corrections. On a charge of armed criminal action, Reeves sentenced Owens to 15 years in the DOC, ordering that the sentence should run consecutively to the life sentence. On an additional count of armed criminal action and a charge of unlawful use of a weapon, Owens was ordered to serve 15 years in the DOC on each count. He was sentenced to 7 years for unlawful possession of a firearm, 4 years for resisting a lawful detention, and 3 years in prison on the third charge of armed criminal action. Those 5 sentences are to run concurrently to the first 2 sentences. So add all those up, right? The sentencing follows a November the 12th, 2019 trial where the jury found Owens guilty on a March 6, 2017 shooting. The incident began when Missouri State Highway Patrol officer Ryan Whitham attempted to make a vehicle stop in Sikeston, Missouri. When the vehicle failed to stop, a pursuit began until the suspect's vehicle slid off the highway and struck a utility pole guided wire. As the vehicle came to a stop, a backseat passenger, later identified as Owens, exited the vehicle, turned toward the officer, and began firing a gun. Winham, the officer, was able to return fire. Although Owens fled following the exchange of gunfire, he was later located in the bed of a truck and arrested. A handgun was also recovered in the truck's bed. Now, the New Madrid County prosecuting attorney, Andrew Lawson, who tried the case, said that he was pleased with the judge's sentences. He stated, and I quote, "This defendant shot at a MSHP trooper at least 6 times simply because he was doing his job. He not only endangered the trooper's life, but countless others, as well as this shooting took place in the Sikeston residential neighborhood in the middle of the day. The defendant's actions prove that he has no regard for human life," according to Lawson. The prosecutor also added that he hopes the sentences help the victim heal. He hopes the sentences help the victim heal. How giving someone life in prison plus 15 years for attempting to shoot someone, not shooting someone. He did not even hit the officer. Now, I understand that you should not shoot at anyone, especially people who are hired to protect and serve us. I get it. I get it completely. And the guy is guilty for that. But to give him life in prison plus 15 years, and he didn't even shoot anybody. Yet the Botham case down in Texas, where the officer went inside the home and shot the unarmed man in his own home and killed him, she only got 10 years and she shot and killed the man. And this man gets life plus 15 years in prison for shooting at the officer. And then the prosecuting attorney who tried the case says he hopes that this time's help him heal, being in prison until he dies. Now, how's this sentence fair? How's this just? And this is what people talk about in America when they talk about the sentences that are not fair. This is not a fair sentence. Show me any other case where somebody got for first degree assault, they got life in prison plus 15 years and didn't shoot anybody. How's that fair? I would love to hear your thoughts, so please leave your comments in the section below. And you have tuned into The Mitchell File, and I'm your host, Roosevelt Mitchell III.